So today's Wednesday, April 8th, and we are going to be checking our math here in a moment. But first, a couple of things. There's still some people that haven't shown me a diorama. A picture of it is fine. You don't have to mail it to me. Um, and so it's not too difficult to do that. If you haven't done it yet, make sure you do it. And also make sure you return. I've only gotten one book back of the Forbidden Gates. So you can go ahead and send that back in the next envelope, and we'll get it, and I'll check them in. I've got my list of who has what number, and so hopefully that will, it's all written right here as to who it is. So if you didn't know who it was, if you don't know what your number is, hopefully you know what your number is. That's hopefully the one you have. But once you're done with that diorama, just go ahead and put that in an envelope, and then I'll get it back next week. Um, all right, so science fair project also, I've gotten about 12 or 13 of them. So there are a few of those that are still left. If you have it, you can send me a picture of it. And also, though, there are some people that haven't sent me a picture of their logbook and their, the other thing, the logbook and your paper, your essay that you're supposed to write. And so make sure you get that to me. And then also, Friday, let's do something different. Let's have a hat day Friday. And so wear some kind of a funny hat if you have one, preferably if it covers your face, okay? Not for social distancing, just because I don't want to look at your face. That would make it a lot better. I'll see if I can find one as well. But we'll do Hat Day Friday, and then maybe we'll do some other special days. You guys have a suggestion, don't make a suggestion here. Just send me a text or send me a personal message on the chat, on a chat in Skype, and then I can take those ideas into consideration. We'll do a special day each week. And then, as I mentioned before, there are special, the video for the stock market game should be, let's see if it's loaded up yet. Says the upload is complete. Let me go back to my dashboard and find out. It's coming up slowly, very slowly. Might still be processing, but you should, by the time we're done with class, you should be able to get. Boy, I tell you what, Yuri just has the hardest time for some reason joining the class. Anyway, all right, so it's like the rest of you are all frozen as well. I don't know why you guys are frozen. Okay.
You made it.
Let me go back here. Now you guys are all squished. There we are. All right. Hi, Yuri. You just missed it, but I had just said that we're going to do a special day on Friday. We'll do a hat day, so wear some kind of a funny hat. The funnier, the better, especially if it covers your face. That was the other thing that was only for my personal benefit, so I don't have to look at you all. All right, so let's go ahead and start with our math then, and we'll do the practice first. See who gets some check marks here. Uh-oh.
Coronavirus.
Okay. Let me take my Zicam. That was kind of a cold. All right. Here we go. Letter A is 41, remainder of 13. B is 20. C is 4, remainder of 5. D is 31, remainder of 1. E is 17, remainder of 13. F is 41 with a remainder of 21. G is 32. H is 43, remainder of 8. I is 30, remainder of 30. Okay. Any questions?
Mr.
Yes.
Jones. Mr. Jones.
Yes, Elijah.
What is number D?
Letter D is 31, remainder of 1. Alina?
What was A and E?
Couldn't hear you. Which ones?
What was A and E?
A was 41, remainder of 13. E was 17, remainder of 13.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else?
No.
Schlot, did you not do your practice?
No.
Okay, Schlot, let me send a message to your mom here. You're not doing your practices regularly here. Oh. All right, who else had a question? Yes, Selena, go ahead.
How much is correction?
What's that? How many for correction? If you missed more than 4. Okay. Any other questions? All right, so let's see who got a check mark or who didn't. Elizabeth, you have to turn your microphone on.
No.
Okay. Alina.
No.
Okay. Yuri.
No.
All right. Daliana not here. Nathan.
No.
Tejas. Tejas here? I don't think he's here. All right. Sophia.
No.
Angelica. Microphone. Angelica, your microphone. Can't hear you. Okay, Nazar.
No.
So. Giselle.
No.
Elijah.
Yes.
Okay. Schlot.
No.
Ella. Not here. David.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So Elijah, you get a half lesson pass. So. Where'd my red pen go?
Mr. Jones, I can give you one.
I've got one. Thank you. All right. Let's that there. All right, let's go ahead and look at the lesson then. Number 1, 3 prime numbers less than 50 to end with 1 is 11, 31, and 41. Number 2 is 192. 3 is 1,320 yards. 4 is 4.9. 5 is 19 trombone players or 19 players. 6A is 1/10. B is 10 dimes. C is 40 dimes. 7 is B. 8A is 4 and B is 3. 9 is a cone. 10 is B. 11 is $70.82. Double check that because the page turned on me. And 12 is 919. 13 is $24.36. 14 is 277,032, so it's 277,032. 15 is 41, remainder 7. All right, any questions on those first 15? Hey, Alina. Alina, what was your question?
Would you repeat number 12?
Sure. Number 12 is 919, 919.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Jones,
Yes, Elijah.
number 6.
Okay. Number 6 was A was 1/10, B 10 dimes, and C 40 dimes.
Okay.
Welcome back, Angelica. David misses you guys. Did you know that? You know, I can tell David misses you. He has nobody to make faces at or play with or anything like that. Or as you see him, he's always doing something like that. So I'm glad we get to have this class. You get to see each other at least for a little time anyway. Do you guys Skype each other after class is over at all?
Yeah.
I have
Do
no
you, some of you?
friends.
Okay, good. All right, so here we go. Number 16 now. 16 is 30 with a remainder of 20. 17 is 31 with a remainder of 22. 18 is 2.5. 19 is 2.5. 20 is 1. 21 is 1 1/4. 22 is 1/4. 23 is 8/12 and 1/4 reduces to 1/4, or actually you subtract and you get 8/12, and then you reduce to 1/4 for the answer. And 24 is 7 inches. 25 on his 12th birthday. Okay, yes, Alina.
Would you repeat 18 and 20?
I couldn't hear the first one. Which one? I heard 20, but
18.
18. 18 is 2.5, and 20 is 1. Okay,
Thank
Nathan?
you.
What was 19?
19 was 2.5 also.
Ah.
All right. All right, let me go ahead and get questions here. We got 10 of you here today. This is a few of you. Where Ella is. And some others. Okay, so let's do this. All right, Elizabeth, what did you get? You have to turn your microphone on.
21.
Thank you. Alina?
18 correction.
Okay. Yuri?
I did lesson 105 instead.
Why?
I don't know.
Yuri, are you getting all your work done?
No, it's just I wrote down 104 on the problem, so but I did 105 instead.
Okay, well, change it and then just do 10. Now you did a whole lesson and you didn't need to do a whole lesson because tonight's half lesson, but just do 104 then tonight, but you'll have to do the whole thing, unfortunately. So, all right, so Nathan?
22.
Pages? He's not here yet. Sophia?
I got 22.
22?
Yes.
Okay, Angelica?
I don't know what my grade is because I wasn't here when you were telling the answers.
Yeah, well, you were, and then you disappeared for a while, but did you get the check mark part?
No,
I mean, I'm sorry, the practice. Did you get the practices when I did those?
no.
Okay. Then go ahead and just watch the video afterward and then get your grade. And then we'll, after that, what we'll do is we'll, then you can just send it to me on the text, or, well, I guess text would be fine if you just send it me that way. Okay, Nazar's not here.
Okay.
Giselle?
21.
Okay. Elijah?
24.
Schlock?
23.
And David?
Nope.
Okay. All right. So you don't have yours done? Or you have a pass?
I didn't do it.
Okay. All right. So let's look at lesson 105. All right. There's a word here in lesson 105 that you've heard me talk about with the sixth graders. I think I've even talked about with you guys before. But you're going to be doing something called writing the reciprocal of a fraction. And it's very difficult to do, so you want to pay close attention. If you have a fraction like this, 2/3, okay? Now, reciprocal, to pay attention, is going to be a difficult step here. you switch the numerator and denominator, and that's the reciprocal of a fraction. Okay, really hard, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Now, the
Yeah.
reason that that's difficult is because sometimes you have to do the reciprocal of this type of fraction. So do the reciprocal of that fraction. Ah, Nathan's confused.
You put one under it?
To start with, you can make it a 1 under it, and then you can do the reciprocal of that fraction. So good
And
job,
then
Sophia.
1/4?
Yeah, so the reciprocal will be 1/4. Very good. Okay, so that's what you're doing with a whole number. You just put a 1 under it, and then you do the reciprocal of it. All right? Yuri, if only you were actually hitting your head. All right, and so that's the reciprocal. For a whole number, you just put a 1 under it, and then you just switch the reciprocal in the fractions. So that one's pretty easy. So let's look at your example. It says, what's the reciprocal of 5/6? Okay, and everybody knows it would be.
6/5.
Now, here's the idea of what a reciprocal is. A reciprocal is a fraction. So pay attention, Yuri. Oh, sorry. He's got somebody in there. A reciprocal is a fraction so that if you multiplied it by the original fraction, the answer ends up being 1. And so if we multiply these, 5 times 6 is 30 on the top, and 6 times 5 is 30 on the bottom. And so when you multiply them together, it ends up as a fraction that has the same number on top as the bottom, which is always equal to 1. So that's the idea of what we're trying to do with the reciprocal. That's why if you start out with a whole number like 3, and you can multiply it by the reciprocal, which is 1/3, because 3 is equal to 3/1. So whenever you multiply a whole number times a fraction, since the whole number is technically 3/1, then we multiply 3 times 1 and 1 times 3, and we get 3/3, which is 1. And so that's why the reciprocal of a whole number is 1/3. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Looks like we got a couple more people join us. Nazar and Tejas.
It keeps on signing me out.
Oh, maybe somebody doesn't want you here. I'm not sure why. Oh, by the way, would you guys be interested next week when I send out some quizzes? I'm possibly going to do some on something called Google Forms. Okay, and that's basically taking it online. And if you want to, you don't have to do it that way. You can do it the other way. Looks like Nazar got kicked out again.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nazar, I'm not sure why it's kicking you out all the time. We've had everybody in here before. What kind of device do you have?
Phone.
Just a phone? Okay.
What
I'm not
kind
sure
of
if
phone?
maybe. What's that?
What kind of phone?
No, it doesn't matter. I don't think that should make a difference. Maybe your carrier. Are you guys far away from where your carrier is?
No, I'm in my house.
No, I mean that. But a cell phone tower. How many bars do you have there?
How many bars I have? Let me check. I have 3 bars.
Okay. Probably not the problem. Do you connect through your internet or through your actual phone service?
Through the internet.
And how far away are you from your internet source?
I don't know.
Is it in your mom and dad's room? Is it somewhere on the other side of the house? Is it
It's in the living room.
in the living room? And how far are you from your living room?
I'm on the 2nd floor.
Oh, and their living room's downstairs. So that could be
Yeah.
one of the reasons why. But if it keeps giving you a problem, try turning off your internet. Unless do you have minutes that you can use?
No.
Oh,
It's
that'd be
unlimited.
one. Okay, then it's possibly because of the internet. Might be a little bit far away from where you are, but you just have to deal with.
I can go
what you have.
downstairs.
Oh, okay, and that's okay. If it keeps giving you a problem, then go downstairs. Go ahead, Nathan. What's your question?
So is a reciprocal basically the fraction that you multiply a whole number to get 1?
Right. Yeah, the reciprocal is the number. The reciprocal of a whole number is what you multiply it by in order to get 1 as the answer. That's for all fractions, actually. So you're going to multiply the original fraction by a fraction that makes the answer 1 is the idea. All right. So let's go ahead and give you a practice then. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a problem to solve. Then you're going to have to give me the reciprocal of that answer. Wow. Lena, you're upside down. Okay, so let's see. Okay, this is going to be tricky. I'll tell you ahead of time, it's going to be tricky. Oops. All right, so when I give you this, you gotta stop putting the cap on the end of my. Yeah, oh, there we go. All right, so when I give you this, what you need to do is to make sure you do it properly first, and then give me the reciprocal of the answer to this problem. 1/8 plus 5/8.
What are we supposed to do?
Add it, and then give me the reciprocal of it. No, I don't know who that is. That is not even close to being right. Hold on. Who is that? Yuri, that's not correct. No. That is correct, David. Good job. Good job, not Alina, Nathan. Good job. No, that's not the reciprocal. That's the reciprocal, Yuri. Good job. I couldn't see you, Tejas. And that's not correct, Elijah. 1 is not the reciprocal. 1 is the answer once you multiply the reciprocal. You got to give me the actual reciprocal of the answer. Incorrect. Sophia, that's incorrect. Look at your fraction. See if you can do something with it first. Then give me the reciprocal. Incorrect, Elijah. Elizabeth, I can't see you, so I don't know if you're giving me an answer or not. I don't know if you can turn your camera on or not. You don't have to, but one problem, Schlock, that you've got to do something with that answer. And the same thing for Elizabeth, you got to do something with that answer. I mean, Elijah, you got to do something with that answer. Let me see, Elizabeth. Same thing, Elizabeth, you got to do something with that answer. Something you can do with that answer first. Same thing for Tejas, you got to do something with that answer. Nope, that's not right, Elijah. I can't hold it up a little bit higher, Nazar. You tried to do the right thing, Nazar, but you didn't do it correctly. 6 divided by 2 is not 2.
Oh.
Go ahead, hold it down further. Who is that? Giselle? Not sure. Can't pull it back a little bit. It's a little bit too close. No, that's not. I'm not sure what you're doing there. Why do you have fifths? It's in 6. It's or 8. 1/8 plus 5/8 is the idea. Now you've got to give me the reciprocal, Nazar.
Okay. Yes, sir.
And Elijah, that is still incorrect. So when you add it together, what do you get? Everybody, what do you get?
6/8.
You get 6/8, right? What can you do with 6/8 before you do the reciprocal?
Reduce it 3/4.
Reduce it to 3/4. Okay? Then do the reciprocal of 3/4. That's why I said it was tricky. All right. Okay, so not two. Just let me pull you down so I can see you better, because I need to. I think if your picture is bigger, I could see what you have there. Okay, 2 is not the answer. It has to be a fraction. Remember. So look what I have here, Giselle. So you see 1/8 plus 5/8 is 6/8, right? Okay, looks like you just woke up. But 6/8 reduces to 3/4. Okay, and so what's the reciprocal of 3/4? Remember, you just switch the numbers. You just switch the 3 and the 4. That's very good. You got that. Not 1. 1 is the answer once you multiply it. So, Alina, it's supposed to be 4/3 is the reciprocal. Okay? Because 3/4 is your answer once you reduce it. Then you do the reciprocal 4/3. Okay? All right. So while I have everybody here for the moment, before we get into language, which is a new section, just something to let you know, because there are a few of you that weren't here when I first announced it. But Friday we're going to have a hat day. Just wear some kind of a crazy hat that if you want to, at home, and we'll wear that. Also, the stock market game starts today, and so the video should be up by the time we're done with our class this morning. And then you can go on there and it explains you exactly what you're supposed to do in that video. Okay, the top 3 people get a regular homework pass and a pass in math. Okay, and so for a lesson math and pass, or lesson pass in math. And so if you are one of the top 3 people, then you are able to do that. And you know what, Sophia, you asked me, can your parents help you? No, just do it on your own. You guys are competing against each other. I really don't think it would make a difference if your parents help, but just go ahead and do it on your own. That way we'll know that nobody can complain about it, somebody else cheating or something like that, okay? All right, so let's go ahead on to language now.
Mr. Jones,
Yeah.
what's the stock market game?
Well, go on to the video and you can see it's kind of a fun thing. I usually do this when you guys are here, when we get to the section about the stock market crash. And so we do the stock market. I do the stock market game. And what it is basically you're buying stocks in companies. They're made up companies.
Oh.
And everybody has $500 to start with. And then you're going to invest your money to try to make more money in the different companies that are there. All right, and you've got to decide which ones you think are going to do better, which ones are going to do worse. Every once in a while in those videos, you'll hear me say there's some kind of, I used to call it the rumor mill, but basically you're hearing rumors about certain companies, about things that might be happening in those companies and during those companies, for those companies. And so what you'll do is you'll decide I'm going to buy or sell those stocks dependent upon what you think is going to happen. Hey, David, would you mind stop doing that, please? Thank you. And so that's basically what it's going to be. And it's just a game. It's not something you don't have to do it if you don't want to. But I thought you guys might enjoy that, and also you have the opportunity to earn a pass. And it's a history thing. So one moment. And so that's basically what it is. It's just a game that you can play if you want to. All right. Yes, Elijah.
What is it called?
Stock market game. You'll see the video. It says stock market game, and in video 1, and it has the date for today as well. It tells you exactly what to do. I'll show you the picture of the. All right, I have a board here that I just about erased everything off of now with accidentally dropped it on my eraser. But that board gives you the information that you'll need, and it's on the video too. So it already shows you the prices that are there already. Explains what each stock is. It explains how to do it. You tell me each day, and it'll tell you how to do that, all the things that you need to do for that. All right? So that should be up by the time we get done with our video today. In fact, I think it's probably already up now, but you never know. It might not be done processing yet. All right, so let's go ahead to language. If you haven't done quiz 7 yet, there are a few of you that may have done it but haven't sent me a picture. You guys need to get in the habit of sending me pictures of it, or there's another way. If you don't have a camera on your phone, can actually use your tablet and take a picture and send it by Skype and a chat directly to me. Send it directly to me. Don't send it on the 5th, 6th grade one, because if you do the 5th, 6th grade one, everybody can see it. You have to just tag me and send it directly to me, and then I'll get it and I can get pictures. But make sure, and Sophia, I'll have to emphasize this for you. Make sure that the picture has enough light, because for some reason you take them very darkly, and they're very difficult. I try to print them out and then I try to read them that way, and it's very difficult to do that. And you got to make sure you're not moving your device either, because if you're moving it and it's blurry, it may look like it's clear, but if I print it out and I can't see it, it's hard to do the answers for it then. All right, here we go. Chapter 9, quotations and capitals. All right, a lot of rules about capitalization, and we'll start here at the top. And let's go ahead and have David, if you wouldn't mind, start reading there, and everybody else follow along. Page number, you're at page number 159. So page 158 is where we're starting. 158 at the top. So David, if you would start.
Writing direct quotations. Henry Wadsworth Longfellow wrote the famous lines, "Listen, my children, and you shall hear of the midnight ride of Fall River." When the enemy demanded that John Paul Jones surrendered, he replied, "I have not yet begun to fight."
Okay, and so those two quotes there, you notice that there's an opening quotation mark in front of listen and a closing quotation after revere. And then on the second one, an opening quotation before the I and a closing quotation after the exclamation point and fight. And so that is, those parts in between those quotation marks are the exact words that are either written or said by somebody. And that's the idea of what they're talking about here. Okay, so quotations. And so it says these sentences are called quotations because they quote what another person said or wrote. All right, now continuing on from there, Nathan, go ahead and keep reading.
These sentences are called quotations because they quote what another person said or wrote. The reader knows that they can contain exactly what Mr. Longfellow wrote and Captain Jones said, because these men's words are enclosed within quotation marks.
Okay, keep going.
Place quotation marks before and after a direct quotation.
Okay, so a direct quotation is the thing that the person said, and as that blue sentence says, a direct quotation is someone's exact words. Okay, if you paraphrase or if you reword it, but you just add one word, then it's not going to be a direct quotation. So if you look at the example there, it says, Jesus said, "Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." That's a direct quotation. But if it said that Jesus told all those who labor and are heavy laden to come to him for rest, that's just telling you what it was about. That's not a direct quotation, so it wouldn't go in quotation marks. Look closely. Yuri, would you mind reading that first one there, the first bullet?
A direct quotation begins with a capital letter, even when it is not the first word in the sentence.
Go back and look at the quotations at the top. You see where it says Henry Wadsworth Longfellow wrote the famous lines, and then a comma, and then listen. That one is capitalized. That's the beginning of the quotation. Okay, Zark, go ahead and read the next part.
Direct quotations is never mind. I messed up. Jesus said, "Come unto me, all ye that wait."
We're in that. Look closely in the second bullet there.
Oh. A direct quotation is separated from the rest of the sentence by commas. Worrell said, "My work is done."
Okay, so you see the comma after the said. Wait a minute. Just that second bullet is all. It said Laura said, and Laurel said, and then comma, and then my work is done. And so you have both things there. The capitalization of the word my, which is the beginning of the quotation, the comma between said and the quotation itself. Okay. Part 3, Alina, why don't you go ahead and read that?
Do not use a comma if the quotation is a question or an exclamation. "Are you ready?" Dad asked. "What a great car," Ted exclaimed.
Okay, so in that one, you don't have a comma to separate it. You either question or, in this case, an exclamation point for "what a great car." All right. Tejas, why don't you go ahead and read that last one there? And you got to get a little closer to your device so we can hear you.
Commas and most end marks should be placed inside the last quotation marks. Have you met our new classmate? Questioned Mrs. Stevenson. Yes, we have, replied the students.
Okay. So they're inside the quotation mark, even though they're technically, well, the first one is a question that the person asked. Mrs. Stevenson asked, have you met our new classmate? And that's part of the quotation. All right. But in the second one, the comma, yes, we have, replied the students. It goes inside the quotation mark. Okay. All right. So now it says, write A. It says, on notebook paper, copy the sentence which contains the direct quotation by John Paul Jones. Pay attention to punctuation and copy it exactly. You don't need to do that. Okay. So put an X on that. You don't need to do the right A. Think B. Study the following direct quotation. Be ready to answer the questions for your teacher. Let's go ahead and do this together right now. So Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, the only way to have a friend is to be one. All right? And so it says, why does the begin with a capital letter? Let's see. Sophia, why does the begin with a capital letter?
Because it's the beginning of what the person said.
Very good. It's the beginning of the direct quotation. That's exactly right. Why is there a comma after said? Let's go ahead and get Daliana involved here. Go ahead and turn your microphone on, Daliana. Daliana? Oh, Daliana. I wonder if Daliana is actually there because her camera's off, so it's hard to tell. How about you, Elizabeth? Elizabeth, you got to turn your microphone off if you're trying to speak. So why is there a comma after said? So Elizabeth, why is there a comma after said? Look at the second bullet there, and it might give you a help there. Look closely. Look at the second bullet.
Separated.
Yeah. Yeah, very good. It's separating the quote from the rest of the sentence, okay? Yuri, how about number 3? What are Emerson's exact words there?
The only way to have a friend is to be one.
That's correct, except for the at the beginning, okay? There's no there, but I know what you meant. All right. Then let's go to Elijah. Let's do your next one. Why are there no quotation marks before the words Ralph Waldo Emerson? You got to turn your microphone on. So why are there no quotation marks before Ralph Waldo Emerson?
Because it's a name, not a person speaking.
Right. Well, it's not just because of his name, but because you're correct. It's not part of what's actually being said. So that's why it's not in the quotations. Okay. All right. So your job is to do think C and think D on page 159. All you're doing is putting the quotation marks. Remember, it goes, this first set part of the quotation marks goes before where the quote starts, and the last part goes after the punctuation of where it ends. Sometimes it's at the end of the sentence, sometimes it's near the beginning of the sentence, sometimes it's in the middle of the sentence. And so most of the time it's either going to be the beginning or the end. And so the second part, it's not just to add the quotation marks, it's also to add commas and end marks. Okay, so don't forget to do that. Add the commas and the end marks as well. End marks can be periods, question marks, and exclamation points. All right. And so that's what we are talking about here. All right. Any questions on that? All right. So don't forget, go see the stock market game and then do what it asks you to do. Again, for a pass, a regular homework pass, and a math lesson pass. All right. Is that it? Any questions?
No.
All right. I'll hang up. See you guys tomorrow. Don't forget
Bye.
Friday, Hat Day. Hat Day Friday. All right. See you later. Bye.
Bye.
Schlock, do not ask Tejas to play Fortnite.
And me. I'm also here.
Oh.
Hey, what about me?